Good evening and welcome to a special edition of Tucker Carlson Tonight this Friday. The thing about climate change is it's serious stuff, very serious. It's not like the frivolous concerns that fill your days, like paying your bills or keeping your marriage together or putting your kids through school or fighting cancer. Climate change is bigger than that, way bigger. It's about saving the Earth. It's about taking on what we're going to call an existential threat to humanity. It's a big deal, man. Nobody understands the gravity of climate change with quite the soul-searing intensity of freshman Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. When Ocasio-Cortez talks about climate change and the Green New Deal she promises will save us from climate change, she often looks like she's going to start to cry or start to yell or both. And why wouldn't she? It's scary as hell. Time is running out.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. Like, this is the war. This is our World War II.
Now, you can disagree with the details of the Green New Deal she's proposing, banning cars and airplanes, for example, shutting down the entire American energy sector, rebuilding every dwelling in the United States. You can disagree with that. But what you can't question is Ocasio-Cortez's sincerity. When she talks about climate change, clearly she really means it. Or does she? This is a man called Saikat Chakrabarty. He's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's chief of staff over in the Congress. He personally led the writing of the Green New Deal. The Washington Post just profiled Chakrabarty. In the interview, Chakrabarty made a stunning admission. All that stuff about the world ending, 12 years to save the planet, it was all a lie. Chakrabarty is not worried about humanity's demise. The Green New Deal has nothing to do with that. Here's what he told the paper. Quote, "The interesting thing about the Green New Deal is it wasn't originally a climate thing at all." Do you guys think of it as a climate thing? Because we really think of it as a how do you change the entire economy thing. End quote. That's about as direct as it could be. The Green New Deal is not designed to save the world. It's not about the environment at all. It's about power. Chakrabarty and Ocasio-Cortez want control of the American economy. They went looking for an issue that would justify a hostile takeover of the economy. Climate change seems scary, so they went with that. It's remarkable they're admitting this, but we shouldn't be surprised. It's happening. This kind of thing happens all the time. Manufacturing crises is the less preferred way to exert control over the country. A decade ago, for example, only wackos in bed sheets were called racists. Then, during the last election, Donald Trump was denounced as a racist. Now Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are being written off as racists. What's going on here? It's not like there's more racism in the country. In fact, there's much less than there used to be. What changed is that the left realized they could gain power by creating boogeymen, by scaring you. Stupefy the masses with fear-mongering. By the time they've recovered, you're the one in charge. That's their program. Robert Hockett advised Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the Green New Deal. He's also a law and finance professor at Cornell University, and he joins us tonight. Professor, thanks for coming on.
Oh, hey, Tucker. Thanks for having me on.
So you can imagine how some of us feel betrayed, surprised, scammed. I mean, they're admitting, Ocasio-Cortez's office, Chakrabarty is admitting that the Green New Deal isn't really about climate change or the environment. It's about control of the economy. Why shouldn't we be shocked and offended to learn this?
Well, I guess two things really, Tucker. From the very beginning, it's actually combined, right, environmental cleanup and abatement on the one hand, and modernization of the economy on the other hand. It's not meant to be a takeover of the economy. It's meant to be a continuation of what historically has always been a great partnership between our federal government on the one hand and the private sector that makes up our economy on the other hand.
The most vibrant sector in the American economy is the energy sector, and the Green New Deal would eliminate it. It would literally eliminate it. It would also presume to control. Well, that's what it says.
Well,
and I believe we debated this before. It says that we would transition.
It would upgrade it. It would upgrade it. Yeah, it would upgrade it. I mean, it's not going to. I mean, the idea is to go to carbon neutrality, but. Yeah, I mean,
it would
upgrade
it,
all
meaning
of the other advanced economies in the world. It would end it. Yeah, but Tucker, you know, all the other advanced economies in the world are gradually transitioning away from carbon-based energy, right? All of them are. We're simply going to join with the rest of them in doing that, right? We're kind of lagging behind.
Okay, but wait a second. Now I'm doubly confused. So you're saying it is about climate, but Chakrabarty, who's apparently the guy who oversaw the writing of it, says it really isn't. That's just a pretext.
Yeah, I think you're
for
fixating
grabbing
on
control.
Yeah, I think you're fixating on one sentence. I mean,
I'm definitely fixating.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So Scheuchert all along, I mean, all of us involved in the Green New Deal project all along have thought of this as a massive upgrade of American infrastructure to bring us into the 21st century. That, in turn, is going to be a greenification because there just isn't there isn't any kind of new infrastructure that isn't green, right? So if you're going to be state of the art, you are by definition becoming green. We don't make old kind of carbon-based infrastructure anymore, any more than we make, you know, whale oil lamps any longer, or kerosene lamps.
Okay, but what this is, okay, so the effect of this is to allow people like you and Chakrabarty, neither of whom are elected, Ocasio-Cortez, who's just elected 20 minutes ago, and to have an amazing amount of control over the way the rest of us live.
No, there'd be no
Now,
control
how do you
at all.
get that control? You get that control by scaring the hell out of us with all this nonsense about how the world is ending.
There's really no desire for control, Tucker. It's really about facilitation. It's about bringing finance, making finance available.
Okay.
Well, you can chuckle all you like, but I mean, it's just really the case. It really is the case.
Well, because of course it's all about control. It's all about control. It's a law. So this is a proposed law. It's telling people what to do.
No, it's not a law. It's a resolution. It's a resolution calling for a set of programs to transition the economy into a state-of-the-art green infrastructure economy, right? This is what other countries have done already. This is why China is eating our lunch.
You can use all the euphemisms you want.
No, this is not a euphemism.
You can use the euphemism. This is about force at some point.
No, Tucker, this is plain
language. Just a suggestion?
Look at what China's doing, okay? China now produces and consumes by far the greater part of solar energy panels, right? All of those photovoltaic panels. We invented that stuff. We used to be the principal manufacturer of it and the principal we were the principal exporter of it. And we've just given that to China. We've also given high-speed rail to China. We've given every state-of-the-art infrastructure to China. Why don't we take that back?
You're right that China has ripped off our intellectual property. There's no doubt. But let me just end on this observation. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
My last point. You say it's not about control, it's purely voluntary.
No, it's not voluntary, it's facilitation. It's facilitation. The idea is to help to...
And then you point to China, to the fascist government of China as an example of a program that you admire.
What you don't understand, I'm not saying I admire China, but I'm saying that the Chinese government actually aids Chinese industry. Our government does not aid American industry. Now, as you know, Calvin Coolidge used to say...
Now I'm with you on that.
Well, good. That's the thing is I have been thinking all along that you and I and the rest of us are actually on the same team. There's just a lot of misunderstanding as to what we're actually trying to advocate. We actually admire...
I'll tell you why, because you all use... Okay.
Many of your recent
climate change as a way to terrify.
No, we're not trying to terrify. No, it isn't urgent. Look, it's it's very urgent, Tucker. It is urgent, but we're not trying to terrify anybody. We're trying to convince people that what we really have to do is restore the old American system of collaboration between the government and industry in order to facilitate better financing of again a state-of-the-art green infrastructure. We want to be the principal manufacturer in the world. We want to be the principal, the most modern infrastructure in the world. We want to be the fastest growing economy in the world. We want all of that. We used to be able to do that, and the way we did it was by having the government collaborate with business, but we don't do that now. Part
of this is right. Part of it is dishonest. But
no, it's not. It's not dishonest, Tucker. It really is the case. Marco Rubio, I think, agrees too. Yeah. Have you seen his recent white papers?
Thank you for making your case tonight.
Okay. Thanks, Tucker.
I have.